Greetings, everybody. How are you? Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Is the sound okay? I'm here to answer some of your questions again. If you have any questions, just type them in the commentary box. I'll read them and then I will answer them. From Chik Tavisa, Sadhu, Sadhu. No question yet. Takes a little time, I guess, for everybody to compose their questions. First of all, let me know if you can hear me okay. Morris Twig, Anumodana Satu. I hear you clear, Prajan. Are you working, Morris, right now, or are you at home? You seem to be awake all the time, just like me. Naomi Jonas, good morning, Ajahn. Yes, good evening to you. From Czech, Ling Tan, greetings, Ajahn. The sound is good. From Matthew Koplik, hello, I'm from Melbourne. Could I stay at your monastery? Right now, you're still watching the virus, so I'm not sure. You can contact my assistant at the assistant Ajahn Suchart at gmail.com. I'll go into my website prasuchart.com and send in a message, and they will give you the proper reply whether you can come right now or not. Naomi Jonas, the sound is good, Ajahn. Okay, I think after COVID there will be no problem. With COVID, I don't think you can come into the country right now anyway, because everybody who comes into Thailand at this time has to be quarantined for 2 weeks in a state quarantine facility, and you might have to pay for the cost also. From Matthew Khan, I can hear you clear from DC. Thank you. From Morris Twig, yes, I'm working at the airport now. I have night shift Prajan. In Amsterdam, I presume, at Schiphol Airport. Matthew Koplik, for how long can you stay? Normally we allow visitors to stay for 2 weeks. Then if everything goes well, you can extend for another 2 weeks and so forth. If no issues, no problem, you can stay for as long as you like. But we will extend it for you every 2 weeks. I am looking to stay for about 6 months. Yes, if you can comply with all the requirements, then and there's no issues arises, you can stay for as long as you like. This is on the mountain, okay, not in the monastery below. On the mountain, you stay in the forest, and you have a small platform with a roof and a walking path for you to meditate. From Gleb Ulrich, good morning, Ajahn. Can hear very well. Thanks. On the mountain, we have, it's for lay people and monks, laymen, not laywomen, because it's the residences of the monks, so we cannot mix with laywomen. Laywomen have to stay down below in the temple. They have dormitory style of accommodation, and they only allowed to stay for 7 days. For Matthew Koplik, I've been practicing like that for a few months before at Pack Monastery. Very well. You can come and try if you like. Sweet hand, greetings Ajahn. Matthew Koplik, another monastery. Yes. Where in Australia or in Thailand or in Asia somewhere? Right now we have 2 Westerners staying with us, one from France and another one from Los Angeles. The man from Los Angeles is preparing to be ordained. He used to work for a power company in Los Angeles and had good job. But after coming stay with us for a few times, he decided he wants to do it on a long-term basis. So he gave up his job and now practicing with us here and preparing himself to become ordained as a monk. From Matthew Koplik, bless you Asia and Australia. From Morris Twigt, I work at Schiphol, Amsterdam. I heard Bangkok airport will be open for tourists in January without quarantine. Indeed, now tourists who visit Thailand must stay 2 weeks in quarantine. Anumodana Satu with everybody who asks questions. I learn also from you. Thank you so much, Ajahn, for your fruitful enlightenment answers. Very happy to hear that. From Fei Yen Wong, good morning, Luang Por. From Christine Kutkowski, hello dear Ajahn. Hope all is well with you. No question today, just listening. From Indiana, USA. Very happy to hear from you, Christine. Hope you are well and practicing and advancing in your practice. Just keep mindful, stay mindful, and meditate when you are not doing anything, when you have nothing to do. Just close your eyes and watch your breath, or recite a mantra. And if you're not meditating, you either be mindful or you have to consider everything to be anicca, dukkha, anatta. From Sweet Hand, Ajahn, when Buddha said mindfulness directed at the body leads to deathless, does it mean cut off from our thought every moment when we are awake, aware? It means that once you have mindfulness, then you can develop samadhi or jhana. And after you have jhana, then you can investigate the nature of the body, the feelings and the states of mind. And once you have truly see them as to be anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you will then get rid of your cravings for sensual pleasures, cravings for beings, and craving for not being. Once you have accomplished this, then you will reach Nibbana, the deathless, where there will be no more rebirth for you. From Michael D. Ricky, how can we be reborn with Lord Metaya in Tusita Luangpo? To be born in heaven, you have to at least keep the 5 precepts all the time and practice charity, dana. Then when you die, you will be born in the realm of heaven. There are 6 levels of this realm of heaven. One of them is called Tusita. From Michael D. Kiki, thank you, Satu. From Sweetan, thank you, Ajahn. After you have been born in the heaven realm, you will eventually have to come back and reborn as a human again, because you are still in samsara. Although it's a good part of samsara, where you only have happiness and no dukkha, or very little dukkha. But eventually you have to return and be born as a human being again. And then you have to face the consequence of a human birth, that of aging, sickness, death, and separation from your loved ones. So it's better not to be reborn. You should strive for Nibbana, the supreme happiness and the supreme emptiness. From Naomi Jonas, Ajahn, tonight I am staying in a house by myself for the next 5 days, and I will try to increase the number of formal meditation practice, sitting, walking, chanting to 11 hours a day. I will eat just once a day. Congratulations, this is the way to go. Try to be alone, try to restrain your sensual desire by having nothing to see, nothing to listen to. If you can turn off your phone, that would be better. Except if you want to listen to Dhamma talks or study Dhamma, then it's alright. But for any other thing, any other purpose, like following the news or whatever, you can forget about that, because once you turn on the phone and go into the internet, you might be distracted by other things you see. From Fei Yen Wong, dear Ajahn, there are some teachers who talk about having mindfulness, clear comprehension, and effort during meditation. Can you explain more about what this clear comprehension means? Clear comprehension means to be merely comprehending and have no thought behind your comprehension. Like when you're watching your breath, just to be clearly comprehending the breath coming in and going out without having any thought about other things. Just keep watching your breath and no thoughts. You want to eliminate or you stop your thoughts, because your thought is the thing that prevents you from entering into calm, peace, and happiness. From Gleb Ulrich, just before waking up this morning, I had a clear short dream of very unhappy ugly beings in my home. Then I remembered Ajahn saying we should have metta for them and not be afraid. So I spread metta and compassion. That's the way to do it. Don't be afraid of anything that appears in your dream or in your mind. They are all maya or illusion. They cannot do anything to you. They cannot harm you. So if you see any spiritual beings, just give them compassion and loving kindness. Or even if you can communicate with them, just ask them how are they doing. Is there anything you can do for them, for instance? I think it will make you feel happy. And it will make the spiritual beings feel happy also. Because we all need compassion, we all need metta. From Michael D. Rikiki, but can we learn Dhamma and progress toward Nibbana in Tusita? I'm not sure if you can learn Dhamma there. First, you need someone to teach you, like the Buddha or an Arahant who has psychic power, who can teach the Devas. I'm not sure whether you have to come from Tusita to a lower level in order to be able to listen to the Dhamma talks given by the Buddha or the Arahant. From Naomi Jonas, thank you for your advice, Ajahn. From Fayen Wong, thank you, Ajahn. From Jack Ling Tan, dear Ajahn, can you please talk about the 3 levels of Panya? Okay, the 3 levels of Panya start with the first level called Sutta Maya Panya. Sutta Maya Panya means the wisdom or the knowledge you gain from listening to Dhamma talk or from reading Dhamma books. This is the entry level of Panya. You need to study or listen to Dhamma talk first to know about the Dhamma, to know about the 4 Noble Truths, to know about the 3 characteristics of existence, to know about the Noble Eightfold Path. Once you know this, then the next thing you want to do is to develop mindfulness and practice meditation to get jhana first. Once you have jhana, then you will start contemplating on the various aspects of Dhamma, especially on the 3 characteristics of existence concerning your body, your feelings, and your states of mind. This you do by studying, by not actually in the real sense of the word itself yet. I mean, you study the nature of the body, you know that it is anicca, it changes, it has to get old, get sick and die. This just contemplating and not yet meeting the real thing. Okay, so it's like doing the homework before taking the test. This level of Panya is called Cinta Maya Panya. Cinta means contemplating or investigating. So this is the second level of Panya, to study the true nature of the 3 objects that we cling to, namely the body, feelings, and the states of mind. Once we know that they are anicca, dukkha, anatta, and we have to let go of our attachment to them, then you can move on to the next level of Panya called Bhavana Maya Panya. That is, you have to go take the test. You have to go face painful feelings. You have to go face death. So you need to go someplace where you think your body might be exposed to danger. and see if you can apply the wisdom or panya that you have learned from Sutta and Chintamaya Panya. Chintamaya Panya is for you to not to forget the truth of the Dhamma. When you first listen to the Dhamma, if you don't continue on contemplating, you can forget. But if you come to the second level of Panya, you will keep contemplating, keep investigating. So the truth of the Dhamma will stay in your mind. But you are not in the situation where you can apply this Panya yet. You need to go to the next level where you have to go meet the real thing. Meet the sickness, aging sickness of the body, for instance, and see if you can use Panya by seeing this body as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, and have the strength of equanimity to let go of your attachment to the body. When the body seems like it's going to be attacked by something, and you might feel like you might be losing your life. Like when you go into the forest, you might have all sort of a virtual fear appearing. You might think something, when you hear a sound, you might think something's going to attack you. Or when you walk in the dark, you might think you're stepping on a snake or something. Then you will have this fear, this dukkha. And if you want to get rid of this dukkha, you have to give up your life. Because you know, life is impermanent, your body is impermanent, and sooner or later you are going to have to give it up. So if you could give it up willingly, you'll stop your desire to exist, to continue on living, which is bhava tanha or vibhava tanha. If you can do this, then your mind will then let go of the attachment of the body. Once it let go, then the mind will become calm and peaceful. Return to equanimity, and the fear of death will disappear permanently. This is an example. This is the third level of Panya called Bhavanamaya Panya. This level requires you have the equanimity that you gain from jhana, and the ever-present Panya you gain from Chintamaya Panya, mean constantly contemplating on the truth of the Dhamma. These are the three levels of Panya that we will have to develop. First we study or listen to Dhamma talk. Then we contemplate to keep the truth of the Dhamma in our mind all the time. Then we take the test by facing the impermanence of the body, of feelings, and of the states of mind. If we can let go of attachment from these three objects, then we can become enlightened, become fully enlightened, reaching Nibbana. From Michael D. Rikiki. Thank you, Luang Por. Okay. What we are doing right now is developing the first level of Panya, called Sutta Maya Panya. Sutta means the sutta or discourses. We study the discourse of the Buddha. By listening to Dhamma talk or studying the scriptures, then we learn about the Four Noble Truths, learn about the three characteristics of existence, know about the objects that we are attached to, namely the body, feelings, and the states of mind. Once we know this, we realize that our suffering arises from our desire to cling to these three objects: the body, feelings, and the states of mind. And if we don't want to have any suffering or dukkha, then we have to let go of our attachment to the body, to the feelings, and to the states of mind, because we cannot force them to be permanent or to be good and give us pleasure, because they changes. They have both. They have both good and bad feelings. They changes. So you have to see that they keep changing, and you cannot stop or prevent them from change. They can be good sometime, and then they can be bad sometime. They come back and forth, good and bad. If you don't want to have any stress or sadness or misery, you must leave them alone. Don't cling to them. Don't force them to be what you like them to be. You cannot force them. They are like the weather. Okay. So far, so good. So this is what we are doing here right now, is to develop the first level of Panya, Sutta, Maya, Panya. Learning how to practice is learning about the Eightfold Path. Mainly we are trying to learn how to develop Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and right effort. Samma Vayamo. You need to have the right effort. The right effort is to put your effort into the practice. First, by developing mindfulness. If you don't have mindfulness yet, if you cannot sit, meditate, and get into jhana, it means you don't have enough mindfulness. So first thing you need to do is develop mindfulness all the time first, until you can enter into the fourth jhana. And after that, then you can change your effort from developing mindfulness into developing panya or wisdom by contemplation after you come out of your meditation practice. From Czech Link 10, thank you Ajahn. Your Dhamma talk is so beautiful and inspiring. That means we do as much homework as we can, first and second level of panya, to prepare for the test, the third level of panya. So we can attain the third level of panya. So we cannot attain the third level of panya without the fourth jhana, equanimity. Is that right, Ajahn? That's right. That's why it's called Pavana Maya Panya. See? You have to have Samatha Pavana, or the fourth jhana, in conjunction with the Chintamaya Panya that you have been studying and reminding yourself that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Once you have jhana and have Chintamaya Panya, then you can take the test and pass the test. Without these two, Chintamaya Panya and the equanimity gained from jhana, you will not be able to let go of your attachment. From Morris Twig, Prajan, can you explain the difference between jhana and jnana? Jhana means absorption in samadhi, in peace and calm. No action whatsoever, no thought whatsoever coming from the mind. Then you will be in jhana. Vayana means knowledge or panya or wisdom. When you see the Four Noble Truths, when somebody makes you angry, and you see this is dukkha, and you realize that this dukkha arises from your desire from your desire for something, and then you cannot get what you want, then you get angry. So if you want to get rid of your anger, then you have to stop your desire. If you want something from someone and they don't give it to you, and you get angry. If you want to eliminate your anger, then you just have to change your mind. Say, okay, I don't want to get anything from that person anymore. Once you do that, then your anger or dukkha will disappear. Then this is what you call jnana. The knowledge arises from the true experience. Knowledge arises from the real action, not by just merely thinking about it. From Christine Kutkowski, Ajahn, would you please share your technique to start meditation? It may be personal, so I will understand if you want to discuss it. Well, when I first start, I used anapanasati. I sit down, close my eyes, and watch my breath. But I can find that I can only concentrate for a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so. Then I could no longer sit. Then I found out that if I want to continue on sitting, I have to use a mantra. So I use anicca as my mantra. When I sit down and I start to feel uneasy and I want to get up, then I recite the mantra. After reciting the mantra for a few minutes, the mind becomes calm and peaceful. Then I can sit for a longer period of time, maybe another 10 or 20 minutes or so. Then I realized that in order to be able to sit, you need your mind. You have to be proactive. Sometimes watching the breath is not enough because you don't have strong enough mindfulness. So I use reciting the sutta as my way of sitting in meditation when I cannot focus on my breath. I recite the four foundations of mindfulness discourse, translated in English, because in this way I can study it at the same time while I use it as my meditation object. So I learn about the four foundations of mindfulness by reciting the sutta, the discourse. And so I gain two things at the same time. I gain knowledge. I also gain mindfulness and peace from reciting the sutta. And this takes a long time to finish it, maybe about 40 minutes or so. Then after that, my mind becomes calm and peaceful enough to contemplate, to focus on my breathing again. Then I keep watching my breathing, and this will bring the mind deeper into samadhi and eventually into jhana. So this is basically how I started my practice and continue on with my practice this way.จิตดีมีสุข จิตดีมีสุข สาธุสาธุข้าน้อย From Morris Tweet, thank you, Ajahn. Can both be firemen at the same time? You have to clarify your question, Morris. Cannot understand. Can both be firemen at the same time mean? From Lim or Mui, good morning, Ajahn. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I think I will continue on for about another 10 minutes or so. Then after that I will have to get ready for my new day activity. First activity is to go on alms collection. After my alms collection, then I come back to the temple or monastery and share the food that we collect and have our one meal a day. After finishing eating, then we help clean up the dining hall, and then we scatter back to our cabin, our residence, where we continue on with our practice of either mindfulness or meditation or contemplation until in the afternoon, about 2 or 3 o'clock, we come out and help sweep the temple ground and do whatever is necessary, like cleaning up places the toilet and so forth. And then we will have our afternoon drinks, refreshment, fruit juices, coffee, tea, and then after that we return to our residence and have our shower. And then we continue on with our meditation practice until about 10 o'clock at night before we take a rest. So this is a daily activity of a monastic monk. Monk doesn't do much studying the scriptures. We only study just enough, knowing just enough what we have to know. We don't have to study the whole Tripitaka. Just know how to practice the Noble Eightfold Path is enough. Other information are complementary but not necessary. Sometimes you know too much and it will interfere with your practice. Nabiti Namaskar Ajahn from GUL Gao Perry. Tan Ajahn, good morning. Could you please explain to us if our dreams, which are Khanda manifestation, will stop totally at some point in our practice? Or will we always be subjected to dreams while we exist as human beings, even after attaining vimutti? See, when you go to sleep, you have no mindfulness. So without mindfulness, you cannot prevent the mind from creating dreams. But it's okay. Dreams are dreams. They are illusions. They are not real. If you understand this, then no matter what kind of dreams you get, you can experience it and not be affected by it. Only when you don't know that they are illusion, they cannot hurt you or do anything to you. Might hurt you because you will react negatively to some of the bad dreams. But if you practice a lot of samadhi and you have enter into jhanas a lot, your dream will diminish and almost you might not have any dreams afterward. If you can practice a lot of jhanas. Sadhu, beloved Ajahn, have a blissful day. Greeting from Space Coast, Florida. Near space station, near Cape Canaveral, Space Coast, Florida. Okay, so don't worry about dreams. Consider them to be anicca, dukkha, anatta. Don't try to manage them. Don't try to get rid of them or whatever. If they come, let them come. They come and go just like feelings. They are considered to be one of the states of mind, citta, in the Satipatthana Sutta. They are the creation by sanya and sankhara. For Morris Twict, sorry Prajan, I mean can jhana and jnana develop on the same time? No, they are two separate practices. Jhana, you use mindfulness, concentration to get into jhana. Jnana, you have to contemplate, like develop the 3 level of panya. First, develop suttamaya panya, then develop chintamaya panya, then apply the wisdom that you develop in conjunction with jhana to develop the 3rd level of panya, pavanamaya panya. When you take the test, you will see the 4 noble truths in real time. Then this is considered to be jnana. You can see that you have dukkha because you have desire. You know dukkha disappear because you use wisdom to teach your mind to let go of the object of your desire. To see that the object is anicca, dukkha, anatta. When you let go of your attachment, then dukkha will disappear. this happens in real time, not by imagining it. So you have to find something to bring the mind to come face to face with the truth, the reality. Then you will be able to see the truth, and then this is what we call jnana. From Mary Ann, Sadhu, Sadhu. From TFK, Teresa. Good morning, Prajan. I would like to ask that why we donate, then we didn't feel happy or gratified. I just felt it's normal. It's just nice to feel like helping or giving away. What is this mind? It just means you haven't given a lot, that's all. If you give a lot more, give to the point where you feel you are hurting yourself because you are losing something you like or you love. Then, but for the benefits of the receiver, you're willing to sacrifice part of your happiness, part of your possession that you love, that you cling to. If you give in this manner, then you feel a lot of joy, a lot of peace, a lot of happiness and contentment. So you need to give more in order to feel the joy from giving, and give to the cause that you like. It helps you. If you like something and when you contribute to that thing that you like, it will make you feel joyful and happy. But if you are giving to something that you don't like, you might not have this happiness. You only have a feeling of being nice to other people. So if you want to feel a sense of joy, of contentment, you have to give more and give to the cause that you like. Kathleen, Andrew, good morning and thank you, Ajahn, for your insight and excellent teaching. From Chin Li Ching, morning Ajahn. How to do element contemplation? Do I use the 32 parts? Thank you. You contemplate the 4 elements by looking at the development of the body, from the time of conception to the time of birth, and then to the time of development, and then eventually to the time of dissolution. This is all the process of taking in the 4 elements and dispersing the four elements. See, when you start with the 2 drops of 4 elements or 3 elements. You have the earth, the water, the 2 elements, the earth and the water mixed. We call them sperm and eggs. When they combine, then they start to reproduce by getting the earth and water element from the mother, and then the eggs and then the body will start to develop by getting more of the 4 elements. In the womb, you usually get about the 3 elements. You get the fire element, you get the water and the earth element, until when your body becomes fully complete with the 32 parts, then you have birth. You get born, and when you come out of the womb, you start to take in more of the 4 elements. You start breathing in the air element. You take in the water elements. You take in the earth element in the forms of food. The heat element you get from the temperature, the sun, or from the chemical reaction of the 3 elements when you take food in. You notice every time you eat, you feel that your body temperature rises. So this will keep continuing on of taking in the 4 elements to build up the body, to make the body grow, to become fully grown, and then from that point on, it will start to become deteriorating. It will start to deteriorate, meaning you take in less and you're giving out more of the 4 elements. Then eventually you come to death, when the body stops functioning. When you take in no more air element, earth element, fire element, or water element, then the four elements that combine to make up the body part will then start to go separate ways. Uh, First go the air element or the wind element, then the fire element. The body becomes cold, the corpse becomes cold. Then after that, the fluid will start coming out of the body. These are the water element. Eventually, all that is left of the body is the earth element. So this is how you should contemplate to see that the body is just made up of the four elements. There is no you. The one who contemplates is not in the body. The one who contemplates is sankhara and sanya, which is in the mind. From Lawrence Thomas, thank you so much. Someone answer tomorrow's tweak. I understand. Thank you much, Ajahn. Okay. Lawrence Thomas send in a gift. From Chin Li Ching, on daily basis, do I need to do metta that as you have Buddha Nusati and what else? It depends on the situation. Metta, you do it when you meet people or other beings. You want to show compassion and friendliness. Like when you go to work, you meet people, you be nice to them. Don't try to be bad. Even though if sometimes you don't feel like being nice, you have to force yourself to be nice. This is what we call sharing metta or compassion. That you do it when you feel greedy, when you forget that life is impermanent. Sometimes we forget and we want to build up life to make ourselves rich and famous. When you contemplate on death, then this will stop this desire. And if you don't have any situation, then you can use Buddha Nusati. And when you sit, you can use Anapanasati. So this is basically what you use in the beginning of your practice. First, developing a lot of mindfulness first, so that when you sit, you can watch your breath and bring the mind into jhana. From Phoebe saying, Dear Venerable Ajahn, in my meditation today, I used for inspiration what you said about the mind existing in a different realm than the body. It gave me strength to not attach to every feeling and thought that arises. This made meditation easier. However, thoughts and feelings kept arising. It seems so simple that to develop mindfulness, we need to resist the kilesa. It's frustrating how easily my mind goes with the kilesa. Why does my mind do that when I just cause suffering? This is because your mind is deluded. Instead of thinking that going with your thought, with your kilesa, is suffering, you think it is happiness. That's why people do with their defilement. They crave for this and that. So in the end, they become frustrated and unhappy because whatever they get, you keep changing, keep disappearing. So they have to keep chasing after them, and that's why you become frustrated. So it's better to stop chasing after your own shadow. Your defilements are like shadows. The objects of your defilements are like shadow. You can never catch it and keep it. You might catch it, then it will then slip from your hand again. So it's better to develop mindfulness and meditate to make your mind calm and peaceful. Having no desire, no thoughts, then your mind can become happy that way. For many Jyotiraso, Namaskar Prajaan Ka, I am facing a feeling of weak mind power. to continue my practice recently. My wisdom knows that I need to continue the practice to contemplate more about Sukha, Kammatthana, and 8 precepts in daily life. But my mind just doesn't have enough motivation to start for now, and it's like seeking for any other life goal like earning more money or any worldly things. I feel lost in my mind. Please give me some encouragement to get back to the practice. Thank you for your metta. You have to go to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha for inspiration. By studying the teaching of the Buddha, by studying the life of the Buddha and the noble disciple, how they conduct their life. And then this will give you some inspiration. And if you should feel weak and not strong enough to meditate, just tell yourself this is also impermanent. Just okay, maybe if you cannot practice now, take a pause for a day or two and do something lighter, something that you can do, like listen to Dhamma talk, study the Dhamma teaching, rather than practicing. Sometimes you need to take a pause because your mind become weak and doesn't have the strength. And when you take a pause, take a break, then you might feel better later on and you want to do more practice. Then you can start developing mindfulness again. So this is how our practices go. Sometimes we feel strong, sometimes we are energetic, sometimes we feel weak and don't feel like practicing. So we can switch around, going up and down, back and forth. Sometimes you have to moderate your practice. Sometimes because the nature of the mind keeps changing all the time. But by studying, by being close to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, will inspire you and will keep your mind strong. So don't stay away from the Buddha's teaching. Keep studying the Buddha's teaching, either from the Buddha himself or from his noble disciples, like all the meditation masters. There are lots of books by Ajahn Mahabua translated into English, which you can download from longta.com. And you can then read these books when you're feeling weak. After reading them, you will feel strong. You will become inspired to do the practice again. Tane Poi Ian Satu Satu. Okay, please stop sending in the questions, okay, because I will have to quit pretty soon. GUL, Perry, Tanajan, is Pavanga becoming because the defilements are just suppressed temporarily. That's right. If you can eliminate your defilement with wisdom, then there will be no Pavanga. Yes, Space Coast, Florida encompasses Cape Canaveral. That's a nice place to go to. I only see it in the picture. From the early days of the space work, seeing the rocket going up from the Cape Canaveral. From Chin Li Ching, thank you for your detailed answer. From Morris Twig, inspired Dhamma talk from Longta Mahabua. For those who practice meditation and deal with difficulties in daily life, thank you, Ajahn. Yes, thank you, Morris, for sending in the link. Anybody who wants to study the teaching of Longta Mahabua in book form, you can download them from the link that Morris have posted. For many Jyotirasu, I normally meditate 45 minutes, 1 hour every day, and feel piti regularly in samadhi. Sometimes in samadhi, I experience no more breath. How do I start combine Asubha Kammatthana with that? Normally when you meditate, you don't want to do any contemplation or any Asubha, except if you want to use it as a meditation object. such as using the skeleton to replace your breath. If you cannot watch your breath, then you might visualize the skeleton in your mind and then focus on the skeleton. Then your mind can continue on to be calm and maybe enter into deeper samadhi also. From Kwan Patum Napa Satu, from Tijandra Sinle, Namaskar Luang Por. Please explain regarding how to less or reduce mana when we do something right to other people. The Buddha said you should consider yourself to be somebody on the lowest rung of society, like being a beggar or being a servant. Don't think of yourself as being the manager or being the boss. Keep thinking yourself as being the servant. Then you can reduce your mana, your conceit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I have to go now. So thank you for your input, and I hope this will help you somewhat in your path toward enlightenment. We'll meet again sometime later on when I have the time. But for now, I have to say thank you and goodbye.